Okay, now that we've already gone over adding and subtracting fractions, we're going to go over multiplying and dividing fractions. Go ahead and write this down at the top of your paper. It is note 6, and we're multiplying fractions. Now, this should be review for most of us, so we're going to go over it pretty quickly. Let's go ahead and look at the steps. First, we have to write all mixed numbers as improper fractions. So exactly like what we've been doing to add and subtract. We're going to do the same first step. Second, we're going to simplify up and down along the diagonals. This might be new to some of us, so I'm going to show you what that means in some of the examples. Number 3 says multiply the numerators to get the new numerator and multiply the denominators to get the new denominator. So we're basically multiplying straight across. And the final step is to simplify your answer. So let's go ahead and take a look at number 1. First, how can we write 2 as a fraction? Yep, we can just put 2 over 1. Anytime you have a whole number, you can turn it into a fraction by putting it over 1. So now we have 2 times -7/9. There's no simplifying we can do here, so we're just going to multiply straight across. And if you remember from when we were multiplying and dividing integers, right? If we have one of each symbol, so this is positive, and right here this is negative, your answer will be negative. So opposite symbols means you have a negative answer. So let's go ahead and do 2 times 7, which is 14, and 1 times 9, which is 9. Now, we can't simplify here, but we can turn this into a mixed number, which is what you need to know how to do on your test. So if we turn this into a mixed number, you would get -1 and 5/9. All right, moving on to number 2. So like we said, our first step is that we have to change any mixed number to an improper fraction. So we're going to do 1 times 7, which is 7, and add the 1 on top, and we get 8 over 7 times 1 over 10. Now, we can actually simplify here on the diagonal. What that means is that, remember when you're working with fractions, whatever you do to the top, you have to do to the bottom, or whatever you do to the bottom, you have to do to the top. This is the same for the diagonals. So if on top I can divide this 8 by 2, I also have to do it somewhere on the bottom. But we know that 7 cannot be divided by 2 because it's an odd number. However, we can do 10 divided by 2. So I still have dividing by the 2 on top and bottom. It can be on the diagonal. That is okay. It does not have to be on the same fraction, only when multiplying and dividing fractions. So we are multiplying these, which means we can do what I just showed. So now our new problem is 4 over 7 times 1 over 5. Now we just multiply straight across. 4 times 1 gives us 4. 7 times 5 gives us 35. We cannot simplify any further, so that is our final answer. All right, go ahead and take a look at number 3. We have 2 negatives multiplying together. Since those are the same sign, our final answer will be positive. So I'm just going to write that down in the corner. Now we can ignore our negative signs for now. Again, turn both of these to mixed numbers. 1 times 3 plus 2, we get 5 over 3. 1 times 3 plus 2, we get 5 over 3. We can't do any simplifying before multiplying, so we can just go ahead and solve. 5 times 5 equals 25, and 3 times 3 equals 9. Now again, we can't do any simplifying, so we can just finalize our answer by writing it as a mixed number, which will be all right, so 25 divided by 9. 9 goes into 25 2 times with 7 left over. So that was our final answer, and like we said, it is a positive answer. Go ahead and try to do numbers 4, 5, and 6 on your own. Okay, you should have done 4, 5, and 6 on your own. If you didn't, pause the video and do that now. Let's go ahead and go over the correct answers. I'm going to quickly go through step by step. Remember, number 5 is going to be negative because we have a negative times a positive. Okay, double check that you got all of those answers correct. Now, if you did get all of those correct at this point, you should be good to go. If not, go ahead and practice a few more examples. I'm going to move on and go to the word problems on the back. As you can guess, these are going to all be multiplication problems. So I'm just going to go ahead and go over number 13. It says Nikki just exercised for 180 minutes. 3/5 of those minutes were spent running. How many minutes did she spend running? Well, if you remember from last year, whenever you say the word of, you can just replace it with multiplication. So of means to multiply. Okay. So 3/5 of 180 is really 3/5 times 180. Now that we set up the problem, you should be able to solve it. Don't forget to label your answer. Go ahead and also finish number 14, 15, and 16 on your own.